How does this sound? Do you hear two of me? Okay. That's weird. My usual mic channel isn't coming through the stream. I'm used to setting up for recording, not streaming. So for some reason the regular mic wasn't coming through. Our friendly M1s are getting taken out, but nothing we could do to help them at this point. But their battle group is retreating. Those are T-80UDs. Those are some pretty solid tanks we're taking out here. They're heavily suppressed, so their fire against us is going to be not very effective. One thing I am a little concerned about is supply. None of our battle groups have, or nothing we have so far has a supply truck. I don't think I need the Vulcan yet, so I'm not going to call that in. Okay, they're retreating, and we haven't lost any platoons. Our ITV is just about out of ammo though, down to 30%. So we will need to bring in some more ammo as soon as we can. I completely forgot how this game mode works. Here I was not doing anything with my transports, and here's a supply truck. So they are hitting me from the side now. But we've got enough mortar fire that these BTR riflemen, they're ineffective. And then we've got a Shilka coming at us. Am I hitting my own stuff with mortars right now?
Task force available.
Alright, new task force. What do we got? Let's call in this command group with AH-64s and a recon helicopter. Plus it has cluster bombs, and those will be nice if we get a big concentration of forces. And we have DPICM artillery, which will absolutely destroy any troop concentrations we get locked down. Alright, so they're coming up the middle now. And I'm going to send some infantry over there to reinforce. What else do we got? 70 points, 500 points of supply. I can't tell whose mortars these are. They're hitting everybody. I really want to resupply this ITV. It's got weak armor, but with where it's positioned, it'll be able to take out any tanks in this area. So there are some grads they're firing at me. Let's see if we can get our mortar out of there before they get damaged more by the grads. I don't know if they're grads. Some kind of MLRS. And let's get that evac back to the starting zone. Up to 100 points. But I think I want to save up for the Apaches. These mortars are being a little aggressive with our troops so close. I'd prefer they maybe didn't fire directly on top of our own guys, but what are you gonna do? Alright, our supply truck's getting close. And I'm only playing on medium difficulty here. So I'd hope that I can win this fairly easily. I'm gonna illuminate this with artillery. It's no points, might as well do it. And we forced them back out of this tree line. Transports are unloaded. Both of them, yes. Next is Foxtrot. Let's get them out of Foxtrot. Let's actually send one to Delta and one to Foxtrot. So hopefully with our... Nope. I was going to say, hopefully with our air defense here, they get suppressed before they can drop their loads, but that was not the case. They still hit us. But with the supply truck here, we can resupply this ITV, repair and reinforce this infantry platoon. Up to 163 points. I don't think I want to call in my HQ unit. I'm going to wait on it and keep saving up for that Apache. This guy's almost full. Yeah, so let's move this back, resupply everyone else. Evacuation started at Delta. Okay. Now this one's getting a little hot. Let's send in the A-10 cluster bombs. Hopefully this wasn't too big of a mistake, given it looks like they have some air defense over there. Let's watch this come in. HUD off. See how pretty this looks. There we go. I think we just hit helicopters with a cluster bomb, but I'm not going to complain. New task force. What do we got? Some artillery, mechanized. Just looking through my options here. Ravager might be good. These are weaker tanks. It's an M60. That is an old tank with only a 105mm gun, but that's going to still tear apart anything mechanized and our assault engineer infantry, plus that 25-point artillery strike. Got some weaker infantry here, plus more artillery. A-10 gun runs plus infantry. I think I'm going with that. That is going to be the most useful for us. And what can I do about this infantry? They're getting a little close. 200 points. I don't think I'm going to call in infantry yet. Oh wow, this is a problem. This is a problem. I did not even notice this. They came around the side, flanked me while my guys are trying to load up. Big problem. 10 more points to save until I get my Apaches. Now I've got my infantry dismounted. I might actually be able to save them here. Might. The ITV's hitting these BMPs. I don't think we're going to make it. I think we're going to lose that transport group. Yep, so now we've got to wait until replacements arrive for that group. Definitely need to reinforce this eastern flank. Okay, so we lost transports, and it says we've got to hold tight until reinforcements arrive. And is this just 2 Apaches? I'd hope they could tear through a BMP a little quicker than this. They've got IR decoys. ATGMs, rockets. There we go. How does my defense look everywhere else? I'm going to call in gun runs pretty frequently. This M1 still has 3/4 of my tanks left. And hopefully a gun run versus these tanks will take out a few. That at least got them panicked, and I think it took one out. Do I have replacement trucks yet? No, not yet. And they're getting mortared, so they're going to be suppressed. The advantage is in my court here, with my 2 Abrams I've got. Still getting mortared. I don't want to waste support on it though. Here we go. This is a target for cluster bombs. I've got my Apaches nearby, so they should be taking out a few of these units. Look at the range on this M3. That's a great unit. Really not fair to everyone else. Okay, do I have a tank yet? Or another supply truck yet? No. My supply truck, let's see. Alright, my supply truck is unloading now. I'm used to retreating units quickly, and to be honest, I don't really know the mechanics for retreating in skirmish battles. So used to the operations, which is a fantastic game mode. I think it says something about the game that for as long as it's been out, since September maybe? I'm just guessing. I've just been playing the operations, not even touching skirmish. Really solid amount of content in the operations. Just got 2 new free ones if you're not familiar with the game. And really high quality too. They're not, you know, nothing done halfway about it. They're all really enjoyable. Extremely challenging. The new NATO one is the hardest operation in the game, I think. Still haven't played the new Soviet one yet. And the dev said in his roadmap that there's going to be a few more DLCs coming out. Not sure exactly of the timeline. I don't know if he knows the timeline yet. But that those are a definite buy for me. I will absolutely get those when they come out, just because these operations are so fun. Really unique concepts in them. The way it's played out, it's a great blend between your tactical and strategy games, where they matter between, you know, the way you win matters, not just that you win a battle and move on to the next one. That makes it really challenging, really fun to play through each time. There's rarely a time in the end of a battle where you're just in, you know, garbage time, cleaning up, nothing really matters. You're still trying to get as many kills as you can, protect your units. You're thinking about when it's worth it to chase after an extra objective or not. So we've got a pretty decent attack shaping up. I think those are T-64s. So I'll hit them with some guided missiles. Guided missiles against a T-64, that's exactly what an A-10 was built for. So I'd imagine that gets taken out. And I could use some extra help to hold Alpha until my supply truck gets there. And really, we didn't take those out? Okay. No, they are getting damaged. Okay, that's an M1 HQ. I was a little worried it was just an unarmed Humvee or something HQ. Feel a little better, it's an M1 HQ. Can I land and refit this guy? Or resupply? Curious about it. Not sure if I actually can. Wow, that's a lot of fire coming in. Don't know where it's coming from. And these M2s are really beat up, but I need them to stay there to protect my supply trucks unloading. Got 122 points. I'll bring in more infantry on this east side. There we go. Just got the supply truck parked next to the Apaches, and they are landing, picking up more missiles, and continuing to fire at these guys. This is just a National Guard unit, so they're a little lighter armed than a lot of the other infantry. Just 2 riflemen with law anti-tank launchers, but I think they're at range where they can actually take it. Alright, we can get this transport out now, which is good because we have a major attack coming. Let's see, this T-64 is still full strength. I want to wait until my Apache can... Oh wow, that is an attack. They have everything coming at me. Man, they've got a decent chunk coming through this eastern forest too. I don't really have anything else I can throw that direction. How dangerous do I want to get with this artillery? Hey, we can pull out actually. No reason for my guys to stay there. Alright, transport's unloaded. And let's see what I've got. I think I'm doing okay in terms of points here. I'm guessing that with these points that have been already evacuated, that I don't need to worry about them anymore. Transport unloaded. Alright. So let's get this guy over to Echo. And this one's moving to Charlie. And I think after this we're getting pretty close to the end here. And that's an M113 that lost all its infantry, so it's basically unarmed at that point. Just a machine gun on it. Got 214 points. I was so absorbed I didn't notice it. I'm trying to see what else I can bring in to hold this middle section. Echo's really the most vulnerable to us right now. And as soon as we make contact, I'll illuminate it. Maybe not for just one unit like this. But I think we're getting pretty close. Evacuation started at Echo. Holding Echo is what I'm most nervous about. We've got some decent amounts of infantry over at Charlie to help hold that one. Alright, 150 points. Let's get another Bradley with infantry in there. We just need to defend Charlie and our supply trucks there. We're very close. Where are my helicopters? Evacuation completed at Charlie. Let's get them back to get out of there. This is a cool game mode. I think it has a defensive scenario without the downfalls that you see of defensive scenarios in a lot of games where you could just pick the best spots and dig in and sit tight, not do much. Alright, so we do need to hold Foxtrot as well. Echo is evacuated. I'm gonna pull out to this point so I'm closer to Foxtrot for the next one. And let's get some infantry over there. So they've got air defense taking on our A-10s. Replacement supply group has arrived. Oh, very nice. Got 83 points. I'll bring in that National Guard group. They're decent to have around. They'll at least hold territory if they're not, you know, gonna be decisive in the battle. They'll still do a job for you. Now we've got this spot illuminated, so we'll be able to, there we go.
Completed.
Let's look at those losses. 28 to 85 on vehicles lost. That's the one I look at most. And then, for total losses, this includes infantry too, and I tend to burn through infantry. 230 to 621. That's pretty good. So it's not the skirmish I intended to play, but it still was an interesting one. And let's see here, now that we can, I'll change my brigade, I wanted to try this British one. So I'll throw it on random again. Let's do meeting engagement. And I believe this is the one where the objectives change each time. Take a break, get a drink while that's loading. Hey Cole, see you in the chat. All right, yeah, so we have this is the one where the objectives move. And one thing I know about British tanks is they are fairly slow. So we have chieftains here, a fair number of chieftains. But they're not going to get anywhere fast. I think I want to deploy my tanks over toward the left where there is more open space. And then my infantry I'll try to keep on the right where there's more cover. Swingfire is, I think, one of the best units in the game. A very good ATGM piece. So I'm going to speed this up while we're just getting into position here. I'm not as familiar with these tanks, so I want to look at their stats while we're loading here. AP is 17. That's going to take on most armor pretty reliably in the game. There's very few tanks it's going to have trouble penetrating, save for maybe the like the top end T-80s, maybe the T-64 BVs. I think that armor is pretty solid, so it'll be able to absorb hits from a lot of the lower tier ATGMs and from the a lot of the IFVs that are armed with like a 73mm gun. The side armor is 6, which I think is higher than most of the other tanks in the game. I know that British armor doctrine, I think, has a lot of focus on survivability and heavy armor, even if it's slow moving. So that makes sense. I'm actually going to drop my swing fire in Foxtrot just to capture that and make sure I'm getting points.
Zone captured.
I like how the objectives change, makes it interesting. You can't just, you know, sit and keep a defensive line. I think that was a great choice by the developer, because a lot of games where you can play on the defensive like this get boring. I know with games like Armored Brigade, which is, you know, geared toward being more realistic, but that one can get kind of dry when you're playing on the defensive. And I'm terrible at that game. I have not figured that one out yet. But with the zones moving, you can still have a defensive feel to it like the last battle. But you have to get creative and you can't just sit in one place. Still haven't made contact. Very curious where they are. This battle group has nothing fast moving, save for maybe the swing fire. No, everything moves at the exact same speed. Everything, except the Scorpion, which is a great unit.
Zone captured.
Ready.
What's our range look like here? It's got a 2,400 meter range, so it's just about to this road. I don't think I'm going to get greedy and try to push forward more than that. So it's got a Belgian Leopard force here. Some older chieftains, which have lighter armor. More rifles. We got a double Challenger force and then a Challenger with rifles. I think I'm gonna go, mortar would be nice. See, this warrior doesn't have the Milan. If it was a warrior with the Milan, I'd definitely get that. I think I'm gonna go here with Moonraker. I want the Challengers. The warrior with rifles is gonna be a reliable unit to take and hold territory. And that Challenger is going to own some of the open space on this right side once we switch. I don't think I'm going to push forward to Bravo and Charlie. I don't think that's worth it for me right now.
Contact. Weapons hot.
Here we go.
Tactical support on the way. Reporting hostile fire.
Let's get the chieftain over here as quick as possible, which being a chieftain is not very quick.
Unit lost. It's too much. Move out. Move. Listening.
So we just completely lost Delta. But hopefully they're paying for it with that artillery dropped on them. I'm going to drop this down to regular speed here. And they're capturing Delta, but I'm not too worried. We're still ahead in points. Alright, so they are in the trees and I can't see them.
Ready. Solid copy.
Alright, we've got rear shots on these T-64s at very close range. So ideally our chieftains would have already destroyed them. There we go. And we have no anti-air. That's about to hurt. Is that napalm?
Roger out.
Man, they have a lot of troops concentrated right there. I'm gonna pull out the swing fire. I think they at least gain experience when they're pulled out. I think that's what the advantage is in this game mode.
Loud and clear. Engaging enemy. Send backup. Preparing coordinates for this strike. Deploy smoke. Reverse.
And I've got my tanks pulling out. I'm hoping they can survive. And then we have artillery coming down right on this position. So that should hopefully at least ruin their plans to keep moving past that. And now we've also recaptured Delta. These Challengers are expensive. I definitely don't have the money for that right now.
Zone captured.
Hoping these rifles can at least hold out long enough. We've got 1 minute until we switch to new objectives. There we go. There are the challengers. Alright, they're pulling back.
New task
New task force. What do we got? Definitely going to go with the Lynx. I want that Lynx tow. And I'm hoping the Scorpion can take out this infantry group. We'll see. They do have air support coming in. Let's just drop artillery on them.
Tactical support on the way. What's next? Reporting hostile fire.
I think with a direct artillery strike like that, they won't last long.
Roger, will do.
Oh, I completely forgot about my artillery. That's a thing that would have helped me. There we go. They're panicking now with the artillery coming in. New objectives. Alright, let's get our units redeployed. These guys are out of ammo, so I'm going to move them over.
Roger.
See what I can move right away. If they're out of ammo, I'm going to take advantage of that. This little break, pull them out, and get them resupplied. We've got 70 points, but nothing that cheap I can call in right now. I think the next thing I'll be able to call in is the Warrior Rifles to... I'll send them at Foxtrot, I think. Oh, found him.
Roger out.
We'll pull back the Scorpion, try to avoid getting killed.
We've got casualties.
Yeah, they've got a lot of stuff in here.
Loud and clear. Roger, will do.
Wondering if I should try to fight through or retreat and go around. I think if I keep trying to fight through at least a little bit, it'll weaken their forces and they won't have as much to bring about on me. More rifles, let's send them up to Alpha maybe.
Order fire here.
There we go, this BMP crew is just about checked out.
Orders. Solid copy.
And I'll cancel my Abbott firing. We should start to see an advantage here in points as we take some.
Zone captured.
So they have artillery fire coming from that spot. I've got enough points saved up, I'll drop some artillery on it. And I should be moving my guns more often.
On station.
I know they're using air support, so I'll also call in a rapier. I want to protect my units a little bit.
Loud and
Zone captured.
solid copy.
Alright, so we've got Foxtrot. Let's go get Alpha. Got units moving on Echo. And it looks like they're taking Charlie.
What's next?
I don't want to get too aggressive here and start losing units, so we'll see what I can do.
Case back. Now. Will go.
They've got some stuff all in this this area, but I can't exactly see where it is.
New task force available.
New task force, what do I got? I think I'm gonna go with this cheaper armored task force. Get more cheaper tanks to counter what they're throwing at me.
Roger, will do.
I think I called in a Rapier as
Zone
well.
captured.
I don't know the Mi-24K, what kind of helicopter that is. Let's pull back this Challenger.
Listening. Roger.
So they have Delta, I'm gonna have to take it.
Heads up. Enemy contact. We're in sector.
Alright, that's a lot of fire we're seeing. What is here? Do we have a, oh, we do have mortars, wow. Was not aware of that. So these guys have heavy anti-tank, this Warrior Rifles unit.
Got casualties.
But they're not
Zone
close enough to
captured.
use that still.
Got it. Pushing out. What's next?
I'm hoping between the Scorpion and the Chieftain, we can take on these T-64s. I'm leaving Bravo open. Might not be the wisest.
Will do.
But I don't have enough to really hold the middle too. There we go, this man-pad started taking shots at the helicopter.
Loud and clear.
Alright, T-64s are panicking. Let's cluster bomb these.
Tactical support on the way. We need support right now.
Okay. And we have their T-64s pulling out. Their helicopters are pulling out too. And now we have our Harriers coming in with cluster bombs. There we go. So those infantry units are mostly ineffective now. Up to 75 points. I think I've got to push here. When I take Delta, that'll help. That'll start swinging more points in my favor.
Back now.
Oh man, what was my Rapier doing? I must have ordered it to attack and didn't pay attention.
Solid copy on all.
So what tanks are these? That's a lot of tanks. That's 6 T-55s.
Orders.
I don't want them to get in range of my swing fires. My swing fires will do best when they are backed up. What I need is a Scorpion here.
Wilco out.
Zone lost.
What did we lose? Golf? How did I lose golf? Oh,
Ready.
I see.
We're getting torn apart here. Contact front 1000.
So that's enough units we have going at the T-55s there.
Wilco.
We've got Challengers, Chieftains, 2 platoons of Chieftains. So those T-55s are going to get torn up. And I wish I had more stuff to send this way.
Fire mission acknowledged.
At Delta. Because that's where I'm in trouble right now. Alright, situation evolves.
Ready.
So let's make sure we sit on Alpha.
Wilco out.
Pull the Challengers back.
No survivors.
Yeah, that T-55 is panicking. Let's actually get the man-pads unit on Golf while we can.
Listening. Solid copy on all.
At 106 points. Let's get some Warrior Rifles
Zone
out to... Do I have anyone going to Echo? I think with the units I have deployed, I can take on this rush pretty easily. Oh, that's actually quite a few. We'll send a Harrier in. Have air defense, but hopefully they can get their bombs off. No, doesn't look like it.
Zone captured.
Alright, I'll just send the challengers up the middle. We'll figure out what to do with them by the time they get closer. And here are their artillery, so I'm going to drop some of my own artillery on it.
Orders. Roger out.
And start trying to do some forward
Got hold of
recon there with some scorpions moving up.
Set back up. Unit set. Send your message. We've got multiple wounded here. Listening.
I think I've got enough tanks in place here. Can't tell if these guys are deployed. Yep, they are. I do need some air defense in this area.
Solid copy.
So we've got Golf, Alpha. I want to take Bravo. So I'm going to move up kind of cautiously here and see what it looks like. See if I can take it.
Now. Preparing coordinates for this strike.
Do I have any other anti-air? Not really.
Get us out of here. Target seen.
So my thoughts on this battle group, I like it. I feel like it's a little slow for how I like to play. I like my tanks to be a little faster and more mobile. Even the Challenger is only 65 kilometers per hour. And my Rapier's getting taken out there.
Zone lost.
What did I lose? Delta. Okay, so we're only up by 2 zones now.
Vehicle lost. How copy?
Where did I lose vehicles? Alright. I thought it was just a Shilka here, but it looks like they have a lot more.
We're getting torn apart here.
I'm gonna call it a Lynx.
Please advise. Wilco.
Wow, they have some big concentrations of troops in here.
Listening.
Alright, new situation. Let's pull this guy back to Foxtrot. Capture Echo.
Loud and clear.
Pull him back to Alpha.
Ready for action. Wilco.
It's easy to lose track of the situation evolving. At the beginning, you can look at it and see what's next up. But once the battle starts getting heated, that's just another thing to keep track of. It's tough to do. Wow.
It's a slaughter.
Our Lynxes are taking a lot of hits. Somebody has some anti-air missiles. I do have one more point than they do right now.
Ammo black. Please advise.
Must have hit pause by accident there. So this feels a little faster paced than most of the operations. The operations are usually a little more slow and methodical.
Clear.
This one, you've really got to be on top of it. Your points are constantly ticking up,
We're getting
regardless of how many units you have or pulled out.
reporting KIA.
I just want to hold golf right now.
Receiving fire. Over. Contact. Weapons hot.
And let's see what my Harrier can do to this very tight grouping. 3 seconds. Ah, they have a rapier. Not a rapier. Strela. There's a Strela and Igla in there.
Zone captured.
Hoping just one of them can get a bomb off. There we go. At least suppress them.
What's next? Solid copy.
Alright, now we can move our guys into golf and start putting side shots on them. Wow, we're up to 400 points. Let's roll some challengers into alpha. Some chieftains. Bring back helicopters, why not? Oh, and this is just a brawl in here. I'd like to see more kills on our side. Definitely not as many as I would expect to see with that volume of fire coming in.
Solid copy on all.
And let's see what our scorpions find over at Delta. They dropped napalm on just a few infantry, so really not the best use of their support, but I'll take it for right now.
It's too much. Move out. Move. Reporting hostile fire.
I like these riflemen having mortars. I'm not sure how effective it is, but I think it's at least very interesting from a gameplay perspective. Holy crap, there's everyone over here.
Ordnance on the way. Roger, will do.
I feel like I'm badly outnumbered now. Not sure how, but I definitely am.
Deploy smoke. Reverse.
Zone lost.
We lost golf, so now we're actually at a points disadvantage. I don't think it's enough to throw the battle their way, but still, wow.
Listening.
There we go, they're taking fire from our ATGMs now.
One minute.
Swing fires should be able to hold up against most of these pretty well.
Watch and shoot.
Don't know if I really have enough time to call in much with just a minute left.
What's next?
But with challengers moving to alpha, I think we'll be able to hold. What else? Abbots. I just need them to come in. Don't need to move.
Solid copy on all. Vehicle lost. Copy.
I think on this one my kill death ratio is not going to look as nice as the last battle. Maybe it's the game mode, maybe it's me not being used to the battle group, we'll see.
Objective completed.
Alright, so we won and ended up losing more vehicles than the enemy. That's rare. I don't think I've actually done that before. Definitely not in any of the operations. But in the few times I've played Skirmish, I don't think I've actually won while losing more vehicles before. So that's an interesting outcome. I think it was a fun battle group to play with. Liked how it shook out. Alright, I think I'm going to call it for this evening. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you stopping by. If you enjoyed the stream, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.